So there is a funny saying. There are three questions in a job interview that you must ask. I read this somewhere and it gave me a chuckle, and it's so true. And in the article it says these three questions are extremely important, and usually people ask two out of these three, and they neglect to ask the third one, and that's where things go wrong. So the questions are this: do you have the knowledge to do the job? So you ask questions about understanding the knowledge. Do you have the experience to do this job? So that's if they've done, somebody may have read a lot of material, but they never actually done it. So tell me about, where did you do this? Where did you do that? So do you have the experience? So when you hear from somebody that they have the knowledge and they have the experience, you say, great, I've got a great guy. You are hired, right? What's the third question? The third question is, will you do the job? Which is the attitude. Because
Yeah.
everything, and this is another thing that in my business organization, we have a saying that you hire for knowledge and experience and you fire for attitude. So people, they show up, great resume in terms of knowledge, great set of skills, experience, and they show up for work one day 15 minutes late, next day half an hour late, and then somebody is sick, they took the day off, or they have an attitude problem, they don't get along, and it's so what's the difference, right? Of having somebody, I call that getting half pregnant. You think you've got somebody
Yeah.
and it's a great person, but actually you've got nobody. The person is not delivering. So, and you put that under execution, and of course, execution takes the skills, actually hands-on experience of doing it, as well as the attitude. So, how do you check the attitude? That's because everybody has their best behavior, right? So, how do you check the attitude of the person?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. One thing I would say is, and I've learned from this mistake several times, is to trust your instincts, right? If someone misses an interview and they have a convenient excuse, I mean, obviously I've allowed excuses or whatever, there are things that can happen, but sometimes you're like, well, that doesn't seem right. But you go, oh, we need someone right now for this, and it's probably going to be okay. Or if they, lack something is off, and maybe you even can't put your finger about it on it, and you don't like the way that they're communicating, or they're coming off wrong, and you go, oh, but like I can't describe it necessarily. Most of the time, like those instincts have been correct, and even when we didn't commit to those instincts, and we look back and we said, like we got to learn from this mistake,
Yeah.
and know that, like, be patient, find the right person that for you. And I would say, that's something that I've had personal experience with. But it's a tricky thing to know if someone can execute, I gotta say. You have to really just have um, good experience, interviewing them. And again, I think getting the referrals is extremely important, as I said, because if they've maintained relationships with either previous employers, or if they're the agency with their clients and they have good things to say, that has shown that they have executed. So I think it's a myriad of things. It's not just one thing, but that's something that you should have in your mind as you're making your decision.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So these three questions definitely need answers before you make the final hiring decision.